and here we are once more with our wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous coven of Seer's Rest with Blood Moon Rising, episode 6 of The Great American Witch. I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Hour's Hermit, and I'm your guide. Today I'm going to guide these lovely people to certain destruction and absolute emotional despair, and we want to thank everyone who helps us doing that, traumatizing all our players and viewers, because that's what we do best. That's our sponsors, of course. Links are in chat just now, and if you're watching on YouTube, hello, thank you very much for joining us in the future. Do let us know if you enjoy yourselves with comments down below, because we live for them, really. Of course, our sponsors are the developers that sponsor our shows throughout the season, which is Christopher Gray with A Great American Witch, Broken Dice with the New Arden Chronicles on Tuesday, Black Void's games on Wednesday with Black Void, Into the Oblivious Depths. We have Mighty Narwhal's Mora, the Ravenwood Academy, another coven of lovely witches on Thursdays, followed by Smunchy Games' Parslings. We have Nibiru on Fridays, but that is now done with a 3-part. We have a couple of one-shots and more Defiant planned as well, which is what our friend Rindis here, no, sorry, not Rindis, Val. Val has played in last season, Defiant. Yes, and that was fun. And of course on Saturday, Evil Hat Productions with Fate of Cthulhu, which also will be ending this week, actually, but we have Tachyon Squadron on afterwards by Evil Hat Productions. So if any of those games strike your fancy, do check them out. We are also affiliated with 2 lovely sponsors, Dice Dungeons for all your dice paraphernalia, because we are all addicts and hoarders, let's be honest. And of course, Grinding Coffee for your caffeine fix. They deliver straight to you that good black beans straight into your veins. Well, maybe not, that could be considered assault and is probably frowned upon by most societies, but still, it's good coffee. That is us for today, but who are you, my lovely players? Who are you playing? How are you doing today? Are you enjoying your Monday? Everyone loves Mondays. Let's start with D. How are you doing?
Oh, hi, I'm D. I'm doing pretty well. I am a voice actor, streamer, musician, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild, as well as the Play program GMs for Magpie Gaming. I am also the creative lead over on Critical Misses, and we are starting our 2nd season this week. I believe at 8 p.m. over on the Critical Misses channel tonight. You can go watch the first episode of Kingsguard, which is one of the shows that is migrating over to our channel. On Wednesdays, you can catch me there as the storyteller for a Vampire the Masquerade chronicle, Under the Pale Cold Sun. And yeah, tonight here, I'll be playing Anati Rossford.
And who is Anati? If she knows.
She is... Yeah, that's the question. Oh gosh, I'm scared for my child. She's
I think that tells you.
Coven. Yeah.
That tells you most of what you need to know for now, anyway. So, what about you, Alyssa? How are you doing? And more importantly, what's Naneshka's deal?
Well, we're both very tired, but that's normal on a Monday. I'm doing quite well so far. But as for Naneshka, who I'll be playing today, my Hecate Witch, she's, dealing. She got a little bit of a peaceful nap thanks to her vampire friend. And now she's just waiting and see what the Illuminati want. Because that's exactly what she needs on her plate after having ghosts haunt her day and night. Thank you, Lydia. I love you.
You're welcome. Love you too. And of course, we all love Rindis. What about Marcus? Is he having a good time?
Yes, hi, I'm Brindis of Party Wipe Games, and I am playing Marcus, the second Hecate Witch in the Coven. Marcus is still living his best life currently. Nothing bad has happened to him yet. Kind of riding that high off of his booty call, so he's good and ready to go see the Illuminati.
What could go wrong? Right, Sylvie? Val, how are you doing today, and how's Sylvie looking forward to seeing her cousin?
I'm pretty good. I'm still kind of drowsy from a Benadryl I took last night, but it's fine. We have kombucha. like, as far as Sylvie goes, she's having a great time. like, but as far as like seeing her cousin, um, she's very confident that the plan is going to work. Like she's confident in herself. She has confidence in her abilities, both as a witch, as an artist, and a scientist. So she's just incredibly confident right now.
Good. Good. That's a good attitude to have when we're going into this.
Mm-hmm.
This, by the way, can also be helped with you, or it can be made easier by our viewers. If you want to help our witches, there is a donate option that you can employ. So essentially, for $5, you can add a wheel or even a woe. You can also make it worse for them if you're that evilly inclined. Don't decline anything. So a wheel is an advantage, a woe is a disadvantage. So basically it's a d6 based, PBTA based system, which means instead of 2d6, they roll 3 and then take the higher for wheel or the lower for woe. We also have a big truth that you can help establish as a boon or a bane, so it can be something good or something bad that's added to the scene, and I will take your suggestions on that if you post it in chat with that $30 donation. It can be a mechanical event, can be a tool they find, a magic item, something like that. Of course, in the end, it can't be game breaking, but we'll figure that out together. Pet Pals with £40, not pounds, we're in America now, with $40 gives one of our witches an actual pet. We have some of them already not necessarily donated, but they were part of the backstory of the characters. So Naneshka has her lovely puppy Cerberus, and of course Sylvie. I wouldn't call Reeves a pet. He would probably take offense at that. He's a familiar, yes, a fairy familiar, and of course we. Yeah.
The family familiar.
Yes, and of course, as a fairy who manifests as a cat she, and as one of the fae, he's naturally always good and kind. Yeah. Anyway, but if you want to donate a pet, you can do that yourself, and with $100 Golden Gods, it's basically the big miracle that you can add. You can create a threat, something completely new, a scene, or even undo death if one of those witches shouldn't make it. Most likely that will take effect in the next session, but if any of that tickles your fancy, then do let us know. And of course, tweeting is also an option if you don't have any money to spend, which is perfectly fine, but still want to support our coven. Then you can just retweet our status here, and once we hit 20, our witches get a boon. We're at 11 just now, so maybe we can make it this episode. If we get further than 20, I get a bane to impose on our witches, so I would like that very much. But, of course, I want to be nice sometimes, occasionally, as well. If you're interested in the game itself, it's based on the great American novel, which is a game written by Christopher Gray, and it's using the PBTA powered by the Apocalypse system with some influences from other games such as Fate, 10 Candles. Feel free to check that out too. But what happened here in Seer's Rest last we left our witches? Well, it's been an eventful few weeks once the coven got together, the new coven, I should say. For Seer's Rest has existed much longer than this particular coven. Some of them are the next generation, Sylvie taking over her grandmother's spot. Some of them came to Seer's Rest like so many other people with supernatural abilities or people of supernatural origins. The town is situated in New Mexico, and it's the year 1979, and it's a town full of werewolves and vampires and changelings and all other beings intermingled with humans and witches. Naneshka and Anati in particular came to Seer's Rest looking for help themselves. But now they have formed a coven together with Marcus, whose, well, certain relationship to death and the dead remains to be explored 100%. We'll see about that. But they have figured out that it's not always as easy as it seems taking care of a town like this, especially when a large organization like the Illuminati is watching your every move, not exactly subtle about their intentions and about their dislike for the witches. There was a skull, a werewolf skull, found by one of Sylvie's colleagues, and it turns out that the Illuminati have a special interest in said skull. Naturally, the witches are in no way, shape, or form willing to give it up. So Sylvie has created a fake cast of that skull. It's her job to do it perfectly, and perfectly she does it, so hopefully they won't notice. They are soon meeting one of Sylvie's relatives who is part of the Illuminati to give them that skull and hope everything goes well. Meanwhile, we have a few personal problems to take care of. Naneshka's demons haunting her. Marcus's paramour being, well, on borrowed time. The death clock above his head ticking faster and faster. And Anati realizing that while she doesn't remember much of her past, what she remembers is closely and more closely tied to the Illuminati than she wishes. That is what we've been dealing with. That all sounds very dramatic. But something not so dramatic, hopefully, was the fact that last we ended, Sylvie and Pino, the lone wolf, literally, of Seer's Rest, left the town for a date, I believe it was. So Sylvie, how did it go? Tell me everything. Spill the tea, sis.
So, first and foremost, Sylvie has a bitchin' car. Like, she has her 67 Shelby, which is white with a blue racing stripe, which can be a little difficult to clean in the desert, but that's fine. Like, her car deserves all that love. So, on a lovely spring, early summer afternoon/evening, of course, they're going with the windows down, music loud. And the first thing that Sylvie, first of all, would love just to show Pino her favorite place in the desert, which is not very far off the road. It's going north, kind of towards the Four Corners area. And it's dinosaur tracks. It's her very, very special little study area, and she will nerd out about her dinosaur tracks. That's the first thing she does with him. The whiskey has come with them, of course. So she will do that, and then drive him a little bit more west into Arizona territory, have a nice dinner in Flagstaff, where they can just take it easy. And then kind of go back north towards the evening, where they can get some really, really beautiful scenes of the sky. You can see one of New Mexico's most prominent peaks, like kind of off in the distance. It's called Shiprock. I saw it in real life. It's dope as fuck. And they'll do a little peyote and have some conversations to get to know each other in the most honest of fashions. And I just hope that he gives her a piggyback ride as a werewolf. You're muted.
Of course I am.
Mm-hmm.
I love the dinosaur tracks. And I think Pino will not be able to completely hide a smile as you're absolutely nerding out over everything. He might even, I think the whiskey helps. The whiskey helps. There's a moment where he shares a little bit of his own past, which he's never talked about, not even to Anati. And he tells you that he's heard at this point that it's a huge thing to have a dinosaur childhood. You might even ask him about his favorite dinosaur and all that, but he's not. You see, we didn't exactly grow up in a civilized way, he says. And bares his teeth, and you can see the canines. Wasn't until much later that I had even heard of dinosaurs. It doesn't really matter much when you just have to survive. Kill or be killed.
She's gonna at some point just like boof his face and be like, I am so sorry that you were wronged in your childhood. We'll fix it. In regards to the dinosaurs.
And he's like, okay, you're very intense, you know that, right?
I have been told. I have attempted to dial it back, but authenticity is important to me.
I can respect that. You can let go of my cheeks.
And like
now.
as she's give me a second. You look very cute with a squished face. And then she'll like give them a little squeeze before she lets go of his cheeks. But then like boots his nose.
Okay. For the piggyback ride, I want you to roll for me though. That is a little bit harsh for werewolf to be used as a pony.
I think like it was. I want to kind of frame it as that she maybe she took a little bit too much peyote, and it's not that she, or even just a little bit more whiskey, and it's not that she she's just a little, it's rough terrain and she didn't come in her hiking boots, so we'll put it to you that way.
Nice.
All right, let's see, what can I roll?
If you can roll me the befriend. I think this is
that's what
really
I was
trust and goodwill. You're not trying to force him. If he says no, I know you won't make him. So it's a plus mercy roll.
And at this point, I've been in the maiden. I'm going to switch my aspect later, so I get the plus.
You can just... No, those are only for
for
like dangerous situations. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, not a problem.
At this point, we're in a super mundane chapter.
Good. Okay.
The things are just for menace and milestone.
That's a straight up 11.
You don't even need any help.
No, I don't. Maybe I don't need help, but I'm pretending that I do.
Yeah. I mean, Val doesn't need help seducing werewolves. You can do that by yourself. But
that's just
You've been showing an interest in his werewolfness from the culture to his physique in a way that Pino has not quite encountered. There's either Anati, who has never really pushed him, but he always well, not in that way anyway, but never really forced any information out of him, but also has all other people he has encountered have always been a little bit on the defensive side. And your absolutely neutral, almost Germanic way of approaching this is giving him a sense of security, that it's just pure interest with no judgment whatsoever. With Anati, it's always, she's so cute and pure, he feels bad about showing that not so pure and not so cute side of him. And with other people, it's clearly they're either afraid or they're about to go, ooh. But somehow this absolutely non-judgmental way of inquiring helps him become at ease, and I'm sure the whiskey and or the peyote helps as well. So he eventually transforms and gives you a piggyback ride.
It's for the science.
For the science.
It's for the science, clearly. He is very, very floof. And like as I'm kind of up there, I'm asking for his consent. It's like, do you like your ears rubbed?
You know what? You have had a complete success with that 11 roll. You tell me how he reacts. Then you tell me how this how this ends and how this continues. You can take over the NPC here.
They probably make it. Yeah, they probably make it back to the car before he answers, and like there's like a moment before he'll put her down, and he'll be like, I guess just for a minute. And she does that thing where she's still on his back, but like doesn't do like the outside of the ears, but kind of like massages like the inside like of a dog's ears or a cat's ears for a bit, and just like, and I imagine his foot kind of taps a bit, like, because yep, and
Of course the foot goes, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, because Sylvie was actually completely fine, as we have established, she will say, we got about 20 minutes to sober up, and then we will drive home. Let's look at shooting stars. And she'll just sit on her hood, like slide off and just sit on her hood, and have a very, very nice first date with Pino. And be like, we should do this again in about a week.
Sounds good. And he wraps his arm around you.
Groovy.
Groovy. So, Sylvie... It is. I keep forgetting that. We're boomers. Oh, God. Coming back, you all would know that Sylvie was on a date with Pino that night. Are we waiting in the bar for her? Is anyone super excited to hear what's happened? Or would you like to move forward 2 days to the meeting with Madeline?
Naneshka would give Sylvie her own space to just do her, and just if it's her shift, she'll be at the bar. If not, they'll just be back home or working in the morgue.
Marcus wouldn't pry. He only shared when he was pressured into it, so.
I mean, like, Anati would wait and be watching the door with rapid, like, focus. And I think that when Sylvie walks in and Anati sees, like, her face, like, you know, that glow that people have after a good date.
Yeah.
Anati will just won't say anything. And she'll just smile and go back to, like, whatever she was pretending to be doing.
It's late. I'm just checking in. How's everyone doing?
All good.
Doing great.
All right, good night. And she's gonna turn around and go back to her house. She's tired. It's like 4 a.m. Leave her alone. Like...
Perfect.
I'm gonna take that as a sign that things went well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't maul her, so.
And she didn't
Well,
maul
maybe
him,
he did.
hopefully.
And
We haven't seen Pino.
box.
He could be dead.
Could be.
For science.
For science.
A witch versus a werewolf. I'd hate to see that.
All right. So we are moving fast forward 2 days later when Sylvie has scheduled the meeting with Madeline in Flagstaff, Arizona, I believe it was, with Marcus and Pino by her side. Anati and Naneshka have decided to stay behind. Given their difficult past with the Illuminati, it kind of makes sense not to meet with Madeline, who is of Sylvie's bloodline, an actual cousin, and as you've learned now, also a witch, but is still aligned with the Illuminati, which is a little bit weird and a little bit strange, but here we are. Considering that, it's probably best for Naneshka and Nati not to meet the enemy that's still looking for them, possibly, directly face to face. So Marcus and Sylvie are driving. Is there anything you want to chat about on the way?
I'm gonna ask Marcus, because cassette players are a thing now, and I do have one in my car. I'm gonna ask him, what would he like to listen to? See.
Well, one sec, because I am not super familiar with 70s. I don't want to misquote
It's
here.
classic rock. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's all right. If you can't decide, Marcus, I will decide myself.
Well, could you put some Bowie in?
Oh, absolutely. Like, straight up puts, which Bowie album? Hold on, I have a list here. The one that I have on my playlist. Yeah, she's just straight up put some David Bowie on.
Put some
why the heck
Stardust
not?
on.
Yes. It was between that or Heart, but I feel like Bowie is definitely. I can feel some Bowie today. She'll put in Bowie. However, as they're like driving or listen to Bowie, there's this new album that came out by these people from Britain. The singer, he's a little strange, but I believe his name is Ozzy Osbourne or something like that. And they came out with a song called Black Sabbath, which is also their title of their album. When we get to Flagstaff, I'm gonna go, like, if everything goes well, on our way out, I will stop at the music store and thus pick up both a vinyl and a cassette for the car.
Interested to
So
hear
he has
him
a
too,
lot of
then.
special interest. Yeah, we're gonna rev up the vroom vrooms or my GT and go with Bowie.
All right. You're on your way to Mars. No, you're not. You're on your way to Flagstaff, Arizona. Where did you set the meeting? Is that a specific place that you and Maddie both know?
So I think the meeting, to kind of keep it discreet, definitely would pick something a little bit neutral, that's not associated with either and because I know that this organization, as being an X1, would not associate with either of these things, we're gonna meet at the parking lot of the local Catholic church. Because yeah.
Good choice.
So you come out to see Madeline at the gate, already there, leaning against one of the sort of stone pillars at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking up, letting the sun shine in her face, eyes closed,
kind of car
enjoying
does
the
she have?
rays.
It's very
You tell me, I know nothing about cars. You tell me
Oh,
what your cousin is
man.
driving.
You know what? I'm gonna say, for the sake of rivalry, she has a vet. Yeah, for the sake of rivalry.
This is the part where I can just feel physically that that's the part of Great American Witch that I'm just not
Yep.
getting as a Scotsian. Yes, cars.
Ooh.
They exist and
Yeah.
have four
Ford
wheels. The
versus
red
Chevy,
ones go
yeah.
faster, vroom vroom. It's yeah.
Yep.
That's
That
all
is
I know.
like muscle car Americana around that time was a big deal.
And that's why we have Val to keep us on the straight and narrow.
Listen, I just have like weird pop culture trivia just in here, and the fact
I'm
that I get to
genuinely
like use
grateful.
it for this season is America is like just making me happy. I feel so American right now. Like,
I'm very
yeah,
grateful.
So I'm going to, and one thing I would definitely like to point out with my recreation, I was very, very, very careful not to use any magic when creating this. Like, I don't want like the residue of magic on it to be like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm strictly just using my own natural charisma and my ability to recreate things so perfectly, to depend on this.
So
Before we
as
get
you
out,
drive up, before you get out,
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
as you drive up, and you're loud. Obviously, that's kind
Of
of the
course.
point. You see Madeline, hands crossed against that stone pillar, opening her eyes, looking down, smiling. A fairly enigmatic smile. There is some genuine affection in there, you would think at first sight, but also a little bit of weariness as she slowly walks down the steps, those yellow sandstone-like steps, and waits for you to stop the car and get out.
Yeah. I'm gonna look over at Marcus, and I don't want exact numbers, Marcus. I just want to know who's first.
How many stepped out with the cousin?
We didn't step out yet. Yeah.
Oh, no. I
still
was
in the
trying to get a
car.
head count of the people with her.
She's
Oh.
alone.
She's alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you asking between the two of you then?
For pride's sake. Yes.
Marcus is going to look towards the cousin's clock then.
Right now, the cousin.
Without giving you a estimate, it's in your favor.
Thank you. You can come out or stay in.
Strong
It's up to
presence.
you.
She probably has people watching us.
As we have people watching us as well.
You didn't tell her you were coming alone, right?
No,
Okay.
did not say I was. Besides,
Did you
we're going music shopping.
set a password with Pino? Did you let him out like a couple of streets earlier, or how did Pino get there?
Yeah, I would say like with Pino, which is hilarious considering the back seats of these cars was probably just a little squished back there. Like we probably let him out. I'm like just like anywhere on Route 66. We let him out at a corner of Flagstaff, Arizona, next to a diner. That's probably about 6 or so blocks up. Yeah.
Sylvie, good seeing you,
Mhm.
Madeline says.
I get up, close the door, I have a bag in my hand. We don't have to pretend that it's actually good to see each other, you know that, right? I would rather you be honest and authentic.
Well, if you want my honest answer, it's Good seeing you. Stings a little. I haven't seen you
Suppose
earlier.
So, well,
It's always a little bit sad that things like this lead the family together. Nobody just calls to say hi, to see how we're doing.
family is more than blood. And besides, you also have a phone. As I just hand over the rucksack to her, and I'm gonna be like, I have some terrible news.
She steps
both of
away
us.
from the rucksack for a second.
Mhm.
And when you say you have news, she says, "Not here." Come inside.
Mm,
And she walks up the steps of the church.
no. We didn't agree to go inside.
Are you
I
worried
like
about an
being out in
ambush?
the open. Absolutely.
You'd have to forgive us if we said we trusted you. Be a lie.
How about a place where neither your side nor my side can spy on us?
The Fey Realm.
You know. You know how to lift the veil.
I do.
So do I.
Truly neutral ground for the both of us.
Yes. And you can bring your friend, she points at Marcus.
He can stay out. Unless you really want to come, Marcus.
If you think it's a good idea, I can wait.
Okay. Let's go.
What does the magic look like that you cast to lift the veil?
Yeah, so essentially the spell that I'm doing is a blessing from the mother. Draw up the veil around a location or a subject so that they will be invisible to anyone that wishes to find or harm them when they don't want to be found. So essentially, with Sylvie, it is kind of like we had done in a session 0, like her curses tended to be like
Oh, there's
like the
the
bugs
crone.
and the insects. Huh?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
the actual crone spell of you will be able to spiritually
Mm.
cross over to beyond the veil and exist there as if you
Okay,
were a
yeah.
fae. I think that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
But what does
We'll
it
use the
look
crone
like
one, that's
when
fine.
when you cast the
Yeah.
magic itself?
Yeah, her blessings manifest sort of in sort of nature creeping its way, like the light part of nature, or the beautiful parts of nature sort of creeping its way out of the concrete cracks. You see like dandelions spring up, and what they'll do, they'll bloom as dandelions, but then they'll turn into their seedling, and the wind will blow a gust, and the dandelion seeds sort of swirl around them and bring them into the spirit realm. The Fae, yeah.
You cast the spell, and Madeline mimics almost everything you does instantaneously. There's a little bit of... There's some differences here and there. But you can tell There are very similar teachings. Very similar hand motions where she draws the runes in the air. A similar glamour rising from her. And while your dandelions start to take over your side, for her it's foxglove rising from the ground through the little cracks in the stone of the church, purple all over, and pink and purple and pink and purple. Yours yellow and white. And eventually they clash. And you find yourself in an old hall. It's not dark, but it is dim. There's tapestry on the walls like in an old castle. Between the tapestry, vines and ivy framing not just the images, but the windows as well, stone-hewn. On the tapestry itself, there's ancient heroes and Fey royalty, the coronation of a queen. Madeline smiles and points towards a large dining table with old wooden chairs. Would you like to sit or stand?
Madeline, this is supposed to be a handoff. Be direct with me on what you're trying to get, or I will leave this here and then I will go. I don't like surprises.
Always so direct. Well. Fine. We can talk. I was really just wanting to see how you are doing. Wanting to ask if you were going to continue Aoife's well-meant but silly ideas of rescuing those that need rescuing, harboring the souls of the really not so innocent.
The rucksack gets like just shoved into her. The bones are fake. We were duped.
Excuse me?
The bones are fake. We were duped. They're not fossils.
You see her face
They're not
fall
bones
for
at
a
all.
second. And I want you to roll here.
Yeah.
Now
I would
this
like to roll
would...
in.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Can I argue
This would be-
enforce your will?
Yeah, I was going to actually say that to you. And this is just turning into a little bit of a menace chapter. So do choose your aspect just now. For those watching, there are several chapters that the story in Great American Witches is sort of separated to. And for menace and milestone, the way you enter a scene gives you a bonus, a little bit of an advantage, or a disadvantage if you're in a different aspect. So what's the aspect you're in?
Crone.
Yeah, I can see that. Be aware that this is just referring to magic, so the roll itself is still straight.
Yep. Ooh, okay. Not bad. It's a 12.
Seriously?
I rolled an 11 again. Yes, I rolled. Look, the 5.
I believe you. I believe you.
I know. It's like it's almost the exact same roll as last time, like on the die. So these aren't loaded; they're just charity dice. Cool.
Do tell me how she reacts. This is a full success for you, so you can take over the scene. You can tell me how she reacts and what she's doing looking at the bones.
Yeah. She'll probably take the rucksack and look over it, and like Sylvie's meticulousness even comes down to imitating any wear and tear on the bones. And I don't know how aware Madeline is of Sylvie's day job, essentially, but at the very least would know that Sylvie has the capability of recognizing fakes from reals, and probably even believing her that it would take her some time to actually examine them because they left in such a hurry last time. But the look on Sylvie's face doesn't change, because Sylvie's face doesn't change between truth and lies. It's just her face. And like, I'm sure Madeline is just as disappointed, but really disappointed, and not fake disappointed, as Sylvie is. And Sylvie will go, "You see why I just wanted to get this over with? It's all of this was for nothing, and I don't know about you, but I really hate wasting my time."
Madeline looks at the half skull that you recreated so perfectly, and I couldn't tell. And she almost deflates, falling down onto one of the chairs, throwing the skull onto the table. A little piece splinters off. Her head in her hand. Why tell me? You didn't have to do that.
Why lie? There's no reason to lie to you, and you would probably figure it out sooner or later. I mean, there was no soul connected to these of any sort at any point.
You know who I work for. I wouldn't figure it out. They would. I'd get in trouble for it.
Oh, well, sorry, I guess. I'm just as disappointed as you are. I thought something amazing had been discovered and found, and I was incredibly excited, only to be very disappointed. So I can sympathize with your emotions. But as I said before,
I think that's the first time you sympathized with me.
I said emphasize, not sympathize.
My bad.
I am
Are
an
you
empathetic
happy in this
person.
town, Sylvie?
Yes.
I guess I fucking owe you then. Alright. I don't like open... No, you helped me get my... You helped me protect my ass here. If I delivered that, insisting it's the real skull, Alistair would probably tear me limb from limb.
The curious head tilt. Alistair. Like questioning
My
for her
boss.
to continue.
Just my boss. He has a temper.
Well.
But... Alright, Sylvie. You know I've seen Aoife, right?
I found the cat. So yes, I know.
And you know about the truce.
She doesn't like you. Yes, I know about the truce.
She doesn't like me? Who?
I mean, That's why I'm confused as to why you visit her, because I was under the impression that you were estranged, your entire side of the family, and not liked. So that's why I'm confused as to why you visit her on friendly circumstances.
Is it so strange wanting to know where you come from?
I suppose not. Especially when she can so easily be taken advantage of right now.
When she dies, and you know it will be soon,
Yes.
the truth dies with her.
I'm sorry?
You didn't hear this from me.
I didn't see that in the contract, no.
The contract is with Aoife. Bunch of witches versus a bunch of lawyers.
Hmm.
They made sure the fine print's there.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I
Sylvie,
guess for telling me that we're even now.
we are. I do feel a connection. I can't help it. Trust me. I tried getting rid of it. I tried denying it, changing it. But I feel it just like you do. To Aoife. To the coven. But I honestly don't think this is the way. Do you know who you're harboring in this place?
Vampires, werewolves, changelings, fey creatures.
They're not lost
She starts just
souls.
like with.
Yeah. They're not lost souls. They're not victims. We're not chasing them halfway across the world to imprison them just because we don't like things that are different. They're dangerous. And you know that.
Everyone is capable of being dangerous, even the mundane.
Yeah, but not
Nobody says
everyone
that we
actually
were.
acts upon that. Not everyone burns down a house with their whole family inside. Not everyone goes on a drug-fueled murder spree just because they can't get their next fix. And I'm not making these examples up, Sylvie. Did Ivy ever tell you about Naneshka? Oh yeah, I know she's there.
Tells me about Naneshka.
Everything?
Whatever Naneshka wants to tell me is whatever Naneshka wants to tell me. I am not here to pry. Nor am I to
Very honorable. Or stupid.
take your word. It's not stupid. If Naneshka wants to go toe-to-toe with me, she would not win. If anyone was to go toe-to-toe with me there, they would not win. You mistaken our coven for a place of merely protection from the outside world. You talk as if we just let anyone in, period. It is also a second chance. It is a place of redemption, of reform. And if any of them were to turn their back on reform, then we will take responsibility, and we've had before. You come in
No,
here
you
and you
haven't.
lecture me about my town, my grandmother's home, the place that I've spent the majority of my life in, save for 7 years in Albuquerque. You come to warn me as if I am unempathetic or unaware of what goes on. I am confident in my coven. Which is a lot more than it seems that you can say about your own position to where you are. Now, we have done each other favors. Let's go ahead, and I would really like to pick up Black Sabbath's new album, their first. I am very excited about such things. So if you excuse me, I believe our meeting is over. If you have anything concerning Granny, you are welcome to call.
You could do a lot more with us.
Oh, no thank you.
You may be able to take down an ancient vampire. You may be able to kill that werewolf when he has his next hit. But going against an organization like the Illuminati, I thought you were smarter than that. Always so clear-minded, logical. Well, I've been wrong.
Okay.
Call me if you
You're a
think
Styx
better of
fan,
it.
aren't you?
And she moves her hand, and you return to the world of the mundane. Marcus, still hearing that last sentence as you get zapped back into the real world. You're a Styx fan, aren't you? She looks confused, as if she doesn't know what you're even talking about. Who's
just
who?
associating. Are you sure we're related? Anyway. Safe trip back to Salt Lake City. And I'm gonna give a wave, like no handshake, no physical touch, like whatsoever. And get back in my car. Just kind of look over at Marcus, like, you can tell, Marcus, that like her jaw is like clenched. Because, you know, as the car revs and she starts to drive away, because there was some bluffing on Sylvie's part. Like, but again, Sylvie is so the same in her authentic or not authentic forms that you just can't tell the difference sometimes unless you know her incredibly well.
Does Marcus know her incredibly well? Can you tell that there's something
physically
off?
physically close enough. Maybe maybe a bit of stress has maybe like knocked off a few more seconds more quickly off her clock, I would assume. Like the cholesterol rose.
there's a decisive change, and it's like, something's off.
Yeah, just took 30 seconds off of her life or something like that.
didn't
She's
didn't go well,
insufferable.
did?
No,
Right.
it went well as far as the exchange did. However, there are some things we'll have to be concerned about that we need to talk to everyone else once we get back.
Oh,
I hope.
curious. But she took the news well then?
She was very grateful for the news. After all, she would have presented them as real.
Hmm.
Alistair might have
What
done bad things.
what a dutiful cousin to make sure that she didn't take the fall for a fake.
I owed her one because of it, and now I know the thing that we have to talk about.
Well, I think if nothing else, we should get out of here before they change their mind.
Also, I apologize ahead of time when Pino gets back in here. I may be interrogating him on his drug use.
Should I get in the back seat then?
You're shorter than him, so maybe that is preferable.
He'll do that. He'll get in the back so that she doesn't have to chew him out through the rearview mirror.
It's not like a shoot out kind of thing, but there's definitely probably picks him up on that same corner or whatever. She's here's the thing, Pino came. Yes, he may have been watching, but also was given the task of picking up that cassette. And it's not a chew necessarily, but it's that type of silence that is given to him, or short answers, that is like, we will talk later, kind of.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Mode.
disappointed.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. She is not mad at him, but she is slightly disappointed.
You see, the thing is, you let Pino out 6 blocks before. You told him to be around and to come back once the meeting was over and Madeline drives away and you have that talk with Marcus. You wait. And you wait. But Pino doesn't come to the car.
Oh.
And we are gonna see what's been happening back home in Seer's Rest.
Lydia, I
Oh,
hated
no.
that. What you just did. I hated that. That was the worst thing ever.
What?
God.
What? We're upping the
The guy
conflict a little
giveth
bit.
a werewolf boyfriend, and the guy taketh away werewolf boyfriend.
Shit, tell me about it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I think that's the scripture. Well, Naneshka and Anati, let's say we've been hanging out in the Bad Moon Rising bar, having a fairly quiet late back time. And by we, I mean Anati, I mean a couple of people from town, Leia, Naneshka. Who else is there other than the two of you and Leia?
Maybe Cass?
Yeah.
I feel like he'd hang
I can see
around
that.
if he truly starts to worry about Nanesh. He's like, "How are you doing today?"
Yeah, I like that. I think Cass has been a little bit more attentive towards Naneshka lately. It's in a cute way, kind of. In a I'm here for you kind of way that is almost fighting every instinct of yours, Naneshka, because it's adorably sweet and gives you cavities. But, you know, Cass.
Yep.
I'm just going to try to make Alyssa blush here.
It's happening. You just can't see it because of my bad lighting.
He's been helping behind the bar, and by helping, I mean making things so much worse because he's not very helpful. He knows his way around a good cocktail. He used to be bartender, but at the same time, he's been over eager, and Leia's there as well. So you kind of three of you, it's just too many people. You just get into each other's way. But he's constantly trying to take tasks of you, and just Oh, don't! I can carry that. I can carry that for you, dear.
Okay. We need to. Okay, you two, Cass,
What?
move back behind the bar. Move back behind the bar.
I am behind the bar.
No, the other. Go in front of the bar. What? Are you all right?
What? Yes, of course I am. I'm always all right.
What is?
I'm all right.
What's with all this? What's with this?
I'm
Just
helping. I'm a friend.
Hovering.
I'm not am I hovering? And he looks at Anati. I'm not
I
hovering.
mean, it's more of a slowly descending glide at this point.
Listen, Cass, I enjoy your presence. I like it when we hang out. I like having you here in front of the bar. I can do my job. I can carry a tray. I'm sleep deprived, not decrypt.
I shall sit here. I
Mhm.
shall be a regular punter, and if you would like to get me... Actually, did you manage to get the refill of the Riesling, or is that still... Are we still waiting for the Riesling?
It just came in last night.
Oh, good. Just give me the bottle. I don't have work tonight.
Yeah. You know how I know that?
Because
'Cause
you're
I
good
work
at your job and you don't need me.
And
yes, fine.
Yeah, because I work here. And I know what to do behind the bar.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help.
As Naneshka like turns around to go grab the bottle from the back, Anati just will look at Cass and go,
I don't know why I'm like this, he says to Anati.
"It's adorable. It's just that is not the one for coddling, my friend."
I'm not coddling. And his voice goes up an octave because he knows he's been coddling.
Right, of course. You would never. That would hurt your outwardly ghoulish aura.
I've never had a ghoulish aura. This is not my style.
No.
And he's wearing a dark purple shirt with a little bit of a flowy sort of waterfall collar. Very disco, but still a little bit dandy. He does look like he would be dressing up to go out anytime soon. It's a Wednesday afternoon. There's no going out in Seer's Rest, but this is just what he looks like. Your classic Cass, who you can't quite tell how old he is. There is a little bit of Silver Fox going, but also he seems very young and sparky, and it's just he encompasses all the timelines, all the eras, all the age groups. It's odd.
Somehow he
But-
makes it look good.
Somehow it always works for him somehow. I don't know, Anati. I was not made for this. All these taking care... I don't know how to take care of people. Fucking Stella. I don't know how that girl just works. And Naneshka too now. How do people work, Anati? You're so good at this.
That's a little up for debate, in my opinion, but I don't know. Sometimes some people don't actually want help. They just need to know that they have help. You know, I find that's usually Naneshka. She doesn't want you to try and solve her problems. She just wants you to be there for her every once in a while, so she can take a break.
Right. I can do that. I can do that. Yes. Yes. And you can see him sort of psyching himself up a little bit. It's kind of cute.
I
Naneshka,
would say,
meanwhile,
yeah.
you head down to get a bottle from the newly delivered Riesling. Of course, fairly expensive to get in this part of the world. However, for Cass, it's a sacrifice we like to make. Thing is, though, as you head downstairs into the cool cellar area, you hear voices. You're not sure where they're coming from. They're echoing around you, underneath you, behind you. You turn around and there's nobody there.
Fuck, not this again. Shit.
You know you're awake. You're absolutely convinced you're awake. You reach the end of the staircase, and you see someone in front of you. Someone you've not seen for such a long time. What did Magdalena look like?
Magda was an older woman. Wrinkles on her deep tan skin. Laugh lines. She'd lit a life of joy. Very caring, warm brown eyes. Dark hair, thick, but with that like I think they're called witness marks, like just that dash of white in the front.
She holds out a little cardboard box. Got something for you, kiddo. Happy birthday. And you hear your own voice saying before you can even think twice about it, it's not my birthday. No, but it's the day I found you. That counts. Maybe more than the other one. And you can't control your hands as they open that cardboard box. You can't stop yourself taking out that necklace. That necklace. A snake winding around in Athame. You look at Magda, you know this has happened before. You know this is a memory. You know you're not dreaming. This isn't the present. But it's also not the past. It's not a dream, but it's also not real. And you know that this was the day Magda died. What happened after you took out that present, that necklace?
She put it on. I think Magda was one of the few people who actually knew what type of gifts Naneshka liked. And I think as a kid, Naneshka was very rough and tumble. Like, I don't say thank you. I'm not nice. But there was a smile on her face that very few of them actually reached her eyes. She was happy. And now, is the question asking me how she died that day?
How
I
did it
think-
go from happy to the exact opposite?
I think she was comfortable with Magda, living with her after running away. It had been some time already. She thought people have forgotten. So she was relaxed. Their guard was down, and that's the first time they found her, the Illuminati. And it was a lot. I mean, a witch and a baby witch versus the Illuminati. Now that's a show to watch. But Magda quite literally pushed her out. I think the last she remember is Magda screaming at her to run. As she took on the people that were there for her.
And you ran. Anati, you hear a bottle shattering below.
I run downstairs.
Cass is... Do I come? Do I stay, or is this help part?
Come on!
Okay. And Cass follows. You find Naneshka standing in the cellar, surrounded by kegs of beer. Standing in a dark red puddle of wine, the smell acidic filling the cellar. And Naneshka, in your head you hear, "Did you think I was done with you?" Before Anati and Cass are by your side.
Naneshka?
I think as she hears those words in her mind, Anati and Cass can start hearing bottles just breaking, just like exploding, popping. And I like to think physically being stuck in that sort of daydream memory, you start seeing wounds appear on her that she got that day. Dirt that wasn't there before, scars and cuts and burns. And she's just standing there, eyes wide open, tears streaming from her face as she looks into the darkness.
Bottle after bottle after bottle, corks popping.
Naneshka. Naneshka!
I didn't know. I didn't.
Hey. And Anati will walk over and just like put her hands on Naneshka's shoulders and just try to get her to look her in the eye.
Her gaze snaps to her, but they're just full of tears, and she keeps repeating, I didn't know there were...
I know, honey. I know.
It wasn't on purpose.
Anati will just hold Naneshka.
I didn't know.
I can try and help. And while Nati is embracing Naneshka, Cass steps closer, and you feel a familiar touch of his fingers on your temples, standing behind you. It's okay. It's okay. We're here. And the voice is reverberating in your mind, cutting through the echo of that demon that's been haunting you. Of that laughter. You slowly find your way back into the here and now. You feel the warmth of two bodies and the aura of two powerful beings.
I think the silent-ish tears turn into like a full sob as she hugs them. And she's there for a while.
Just
Oh. This isn't normal, Naneshka. Bad sleep is one thing. This is more. If I didn't know better, I'd say this is targeted.
Yeah. Well, it's a good fucking plan, right? I mean, what's more dangerous than a crazy sleep-deprived witch, right?
You're not crazy.
Yeah.
You are sleep deprived. You're a witch. That's 2 out of 3. That's not bad. Right?
Yeah. We don't know.
Listen, I'm going to help with the bar. I'm going to help Leia. Anati, can you take care of her?
I can help her get there.
I'm here if you need me. And he quickly looks to Anati like, was that good? Am I doing good? But then gives you one last squeeze, one last hug, and runs up to tell Leia that you're out of your shift for tonight.
Well, would you rather kick it at yours or mine?
I don't think Cerberus can climb up the stairs to the water tower.
Okay. And then I will just usher her back up the stairs, open the back door, whistle, and go, Sarby, come on! And make our way back to Naneshka's. And on the way there, Anati will send some small dust bunny familiars to grab her stack of letters that she has people send in for the Dear Anati segment on her radio thing. And she'll just go, grab some of the funny ones.
The little dust bunnies go and hop off in a strange actual hopping bunny motion. They're a writhing mass of various sprites and different colors. People are used to them running through the streets. And you head over to Naneshka's with Cerberus licking her hand by her side. We are heading back to Sylvie and Marcus for a little bit. What are you doing, waiting for Pino? And waiting and waiting.
It's been a while since we've seen him.
This is unsettling and not right.
No. I feel though he would have signaled if something was wrong. You weren't gone that long for something bad to have happened.
Bad things can happen in moments. I see it as it's two things. He has either ran off or he's been taken. Madeline mentioned him in part of our conversation, made some insistencies about him, and I could only imagine if he's at the forefront of her thoughts in such a way that perhaps him coming along might have been a mistake.
You think she might have tipped her hat about knowing he was here?
Maybe.
Well, let's see if we can find him then.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with some, and I'm gonna park the car next to the diner. And I'm assuming it's kind of in a downtownish type area. It's Route 66, so I'm sure there's just Americana bullshit everywhere.
Yeah. And it's not overly busy at this point, considering it's still Wednesday noon, afternoon, early afternoon. You can find secluded spaces if you want to, yeah.
Yeah. I should have warded him.
We didn't have any reason to think he would be under any sort of duress, though.
I was overconfident. Do you have anything that is particularly good at locating someone?
Unfortunately, no. Might be able to see if there's anybody who might have seen something, living or dead.
Or fairy.
Something in between as well, yes.
I think first things first, we can start with the mundane. And I kind of nod over to the direction that I know that the the music store is at. Let's not split up, but let's ask and see if anyone has seen where he went. Maybe he came in for some coffee first.
You can't miss a man like Pino.
Exactly. I mean, you can. I miss him a little bit, but anyway, gets out the car. Suddenly, very upset with herself that she was possibly mad at him now that something bad might have happened. Or not mad, disappointed at him. And is gonna just go inside of the diner. Just not waiting for Marcus, she assumes Marcus is capable of catching up. The thing is that, I'm also taller than Marcus, so, I am assuming...
I can't lose her in a crowd either. Marcus is keeping up.
Yeah, cool.
You head into the diner just as a waitress is finishing one of the tables, cleaning out. Oh, hi there, sweetie. I'm Sandra. Hi, how are you? How can I help you today? Booth? Bar?
No, Sandra. I am looking for my friend. He was supposed to meet me here. Tall fellow, a little rough around the edges. Um, Probably just looked like he walked out of a biker bar.
Oh, he wasn't in here, but I saw someone like that walk past about 20 minutes ago. I am
Which direction?
tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the church.
Thank you.
No problem,
And I'm
sweet.
gonna turn around and leave. Just turn around and leave. Like...
Keep going.
Yeah. Can I, as we're like walking towards the church, can I make an awareness roll? Like I'm specifically looking for like clues of his existence or his presence here. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me plus
I'm
wisdom.
gonna use. Yep, I'm gonna use different dice this time, just because I
Fine.
don't trust. Like, yeah. So with this, much more average, but my wisdom's a +2, so it's a 9.
It's a 9. So a 9 is unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You... You do notice something. As you are circling the area, and you do so for probably a little bit longer than is reasonable. Getting a little bit frustrated. You eventually head back to the car. Walk past it, but... You see... the Black Sabbath tape on vinyl. On your seat.
Somebody's messing with us, and I don't feel it's Pino.
I did mention that I was interested in buying this record to Madeline. Just kind of like inhale through my nose, exhale, and I'm reached through my window because like the windows are cracked. They're not like kind of thing, so I can reach in, not opening my door. And I'm gonna pull the record out. Is the plastic still around? Like the...
It's brand new.
Okay. So, like it hasn't been opened or tampered with?
No.
Just gonna kind of close my eyes and like focus my fingertips. Is there any sort of like magical residue on them? Kind of like how I did with the cat, right?
Yeah, I'm just checking if you have a spell that could work quite well for that. Roll me plus wisdom.
Okay. Woof. Okay. It's 6.
Or, oh, I forgot about my dear charms. You can spend the
Oh.
charm on this.
I will spend the charm on this, I think. Yep. My daily charm.
Yeah. There is a sense of shame that you feel as you focus your every being onto this record.
Shame.
A sense of shame and underlying anger.
and it's not the same that I felt on the cat.
No.
Like it's
There
it's
is
not
no...
Madeline's signature. Mm-hmm.
You can tell, with the charm, you can definitely tell that it's not Madeline's signature. It does feel closer to Pino. To that brooding that you know him to do, but never know why. Never have asked why. Still waters and all that.
There is... Marcus, you'll probably see, like, as she just sort of... There's an almost audible sigh that comes from her.
Yeah, but
I think he left.
if you want to follow him, I might have a way to help. Or is this something that you think he might need some time to cool off?
I don't understand what he would cool off for. Just sort of looking around, thinking it's like... I don't understand what he would be ashamed of. And I kind of... I'm gonna go... Marcus, accompany me to the music store, please. It's... If you do not mind.
Of course, we
Upstairs
should
and
stay
answer
together.
there. Yeah. Just cross the street. I have... Was the receipt with the record?
You spent a charm, so
Yeah.
if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, of course, just to show that I'm not bringing in stolen property sort of stuff. Go to the record store to see whoever is working there.
Welcome to Dark Vinyl Records. How can I help? It's a spotty young teenager.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold up the Black Sabbath record. The man who came in to purchase this, can you tell me his demeanor?
Oh, the creepy angry guy? Yeah. Yeah, he was here a
He was
couple of minutes ago. Yeah, like
He was angry.
about to explode, I guess. Is he your boyfriend?
Was it a...
'Cause
Yes.
you can,
Was there a
like,
general sense of anger, or did it seem pointed at something?
I don't know. He was just like real tense. Like just threw $20 on the table. Didn't even wait for the change. Just stormed out. I mean, that's
I'll
nice
take
for
the
me,
change.
but
I will take the change, thank you. It was my $20. I have the receipt right here. Change.
okay, you're rolling me. This is incredibly.
Sorry.
You're
Am I
rolling me
enforcing
something
my
for that,
will?
Missy. Yeah. Might even be make a sound
Cool.
now. Yeah, intimidate. No, enforce your will.
I'm pretty
Yeah, Dick.
nice. It's a 9.
It's a 9 with unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Hmm. Yeah, but I can give you a full refund.
No, I want to keep the record. I just want the change.
Boss! And he screams at the back.
I don't want to talk to your manager. Do I look like a Karen to you? Excuse
Right
me, do I
now,
look like
yeah,
my name
to
is
be
Susan?
perfectly honest.
At this point, I mean, she is
This
a
is
boomer.
a very Karen
so...
move. Oh,
She's a
yeah.
boomer.
I keep forgetting. keep being in denial.
There's another like audible sigh, and I'm just gonna kind of like look over at Marcus.
No,
There's,
help.
as the boss is coming, there's a brief explanation as to what happened, and the manager's like, just give her the money. It's not my fault if you can't keep your mouth shut. And he does push over the money. However,
Thank you.
you feel a strange weight on your shoulder that you often feel when Reeves is prancing about, and then the weight is gone. But you see one of the CD towers. No, CD's not a thing yet. Of the tape towers
Cassettes,
wobble
probably,
a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
wobble a little bit, and then a vinyl record just being pushed off a cupboard.
So, have either of you seen large chap Grumpy? I know he came in here and bought it, but is it refreshing any memories of where he might have gone?
I was asking like if he's doing okay, and I was wishing him a nice day, and he just said not likely, and then stormed out. And in the back, you hear something clatter and clash as one of the cassette towers just falls to the ground.
Oh dear, that sounds awful. Maybe there's some kids back there messing with things. Did he say anything prior to that? Did he look upset when he came in?
No, really, man. You look like tense and angry, and that's all I can tell you, man. Like, I'm not looking into customers' business, right? That's like bad. It's like not my place, right?
Well, I mean, this is a music store. You could be friendly and build some rapport with your customers. You don't have to be a
Suddenly,
counselor or anything.
the music that is playing in the background is blasting at full volume. Fuck.
Well, that's...
It seems like you have a ghost. Can I make an awareness roll on these two? I want to see if there is anything that they're holding back, or if they're being genuine. Like,
Also,
I can
for
tell
that
what's
matter...
going on? Yeah. Huh?
For
I
that
can
matter,
just-
I was
What were
just
you
going
saying,
to
Rindis?
say, could I check... Does Sylvie tell everybody about the cat she? Do we know that it might cause mischief, or would Marcus check to see if there was actually like a ghost or something? My out of character assumption is it's the cat she messing things up. But...
Yeah. The Reeves has knocked countless things off of the bar.
Okay, so this is normal.
Like,
I don't have to assume that
Yeah.
there's an actual ghost I can go pry information from.
Mhm.
Okay, this is Reeves being Reeves.
It's Reeves being Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly.
And I
even
will
causing
say
some sort
right
of
now, you can't
distraction.
awareness your way to an answer that you want. It's
Yeah.
they're literally Pino wouldn't tell random people where he's going. They're working in a store.
Right.
They can't see where a customer goes. Like, you'd have to do some magic if you wanted to figure more out.
I was just like trying to brain, like, were there similar physical features between this teenage boy and Pino, and did he have like a son somewhere?
This is not Pasión de las Pasiones, my god.
I will just be like, thank you, and I'm gonna leave.
And
Light
in the
a
back,
cigarette outside.
you hear, "Oh my god, no!" and then more crashing and clattering.
Oh dear, it sounds like that is a real problem. You probably should do your job and take care of it. Have a nice day. And then he'll walk out.
You said that you could find him?
Yeah, you can, let me see the record.
I'm gonna hand it to Marcus.
Keep your hands on it, and I can do this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like what we've done before, I'm gonna modify the mother divination, so can commune with the dead to kind of get a guidance on what we're looking for and what's the best route. And so, kind of using Sylvie as the conduit, knowing what she wants is to find Pino.
You're basically, I think the best route for that would be to just, there are spirits everywhere, right? You know that they're walking throughout the world. You've had to train yourself almost to not see them. And in this case, you go back out to the square around the church. It's a church, plenty of spirits there. And you open your eyes to see through, to see if there's any spirits lingering about that may have been able to see where Pino was going from the car onwards. And roll me whatever that spell entails.
It'll be plus wisdom, which is a 0. 8.
8. Again, unintended consequences. I might make a soft move here. You find a spirit that has been sitting on a bench watching the area where your car is, and it's an elderly woman. A tall man, you say? I was watching for him, yes. He was fumbling about that car over there. Real suspicious looking type. He looked around constantly, as if he was not wanting to be found. I thought he was about to steal the car. Then he just walked off. He was on his own.
Do anything to the car?
I don't think so. Just fumbling about the front door.
Oh. Which way did he go?
Bony hands pointing into the direction towards the main street and sort of outside of town.
So he left town on his own. Something here aggravated him. All right, thank you for your help.
Can you tell my grandson I've been waiting here for a very long time?
What's your grandson's name?
Michael. Such a good boy. Such a good boy.
I promise, if I see Michael, I'll let him know.
Watch Michael as a kid at the record store.
That's what I was thinking. Oh no. Did we see a name tag? Michael, your nan's outside.
Yes. Pretty much, yes. Mike, of course, was on the name tag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I gotta keep my promise. Okay. Yeah, I'll be sure to let him know. Sure, we've been waiting.
All right. Are you heading back to tell? What are you telling Michael?
Yeah, he's
I
a
want
man of
that.
his word.
I kind of
So
yeah. If you have to actually do that.
Well, let's do it like when we leave town and have to pass by the store again while because we're going to the church again. Are we at the church? Is what I'm assuming.
Your mom's looking
were
for
at the
you.
church,
Yeah.
Grandma's looking for you. Go see visitor
Inside,
at the graveyard.
It's pure and total havoc inside. A pipe has burst as well, and water is leaking through the ceiling. They are having a very, very bad, not good day. And are you literally just shouting it at Michael?
No, he would go in and talk to the kid. So I think Marcus walks in and he says, "Excuse me, Michael."
Yeah.
Another moment
What?
of your
Having a
time.
mop in his hand and a bucket.
So I don't have any good way to say this, but I'm one who's spiritually inclined. I believe in all of that new age nonsense. If you listen to Black Sabbath, play the record backwards, and you'll hear, etc. So I've felt the pull of your grandmother, and she
What?
says yes, your grandmother.
She's dead, man. What the fuck?
I know. I tried to explain this to you as gently as I could. She says she's waiting for you outside. When you're done with this, you may want to go into the alley and see. She didn't get murdered down this alley, did she?
No, I don't think so. She's had a heart attack in church. What?
In church.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? What's your problem?
It's probably about this moment that he reaches into his little coat and he takes out just a flask and he unscrews it and he says a lot of things, but one thing that is true is that I did speak to her and she said she was waiting for you, so you should probably go to church and see what guidance God could give you in that regard once you're done with all this.
And in the back, his manager is screaming, Mike, hurry up! This is leaking everywhere! Fuck!
I've done my part. And he just upends the flask.
And Sylvie, you feel a weight on your shoulder again and hear a little from Reese chuckling in your ear. That was a very nice outing. I had fun.
I'm glad you're having fun.
And I think with that, we're heading back to see what Anati and Naneshka are up to as this turned into slapstick comedy.
It's just so good.
You'll have traumatized this poor kid.
Yeah, that poor Michael.
Poor child.
Poor Michael didn't even fucking
It's already
exist
hard working
until today.
retail.
And he's had only the worst time in those 10 minutes of his existence. Alright. Speaking of having the worst time, how are you doing, Naneshka? What are you and Anati up to?
I think Naneshka, once they get back home, she kind of takes a moment to herself. Tries to kind of shake it off, kind of like physically just doing that, like, okay, it's fine, we have to deal with this. You need to help me out. You need to help me do a ritual.
Yeah. Right now?
Yeah. TT, I can't deal with this anymore. If someone is targeting me, whatever it is they're using for this demon spirit, whatever the fuck it is I can't.
And you see Anati like puts down like the etch-a-sketch and the letters and goes, don't you think we should wait until the whole coven's here?
Yeah. I guess. What am I supposed to tell them? Hey, I'm having nervous breakdowns because the demon is targeting me, or a ghost is targeting me because someone's targeting me.
Hey, Naneshka, I'll give you a charm if you do it right now instead of waiting for everyone. What?
I will say, Anati will just go, fine, I'm not gonna let you do it by yourself.
Cool, because if you left, I was definitely gonna do it by myself.
I like how you didn't even wait for Alessa's answer because you knew she was going to take that bloody charm anyway.
No, she said it. She said, we've got to do it now. She said it.
Okay.
Oh, boy. And Anati's just going to start pushing furniture out of the way.
Okay. Let's do this. She starts pushing. She doesn't have a lot of furniture. She has probably like a couch, stools for like the little bar from the kitchen, and like a bed in the corner. It's like a loft type of situation.
Gotcha.
The only other room is the bathroom. And she'll make a space, and she'll we'll start getting out ingredients. Almost kind of like, I don't know if any of you have ADD. But when you're pushing to go do something, you're just kind of psyching yourself up while you do it as you're doing it, so your brain can't like go anywhere else. So that's what they're doing. And they're pulling out a few ingredients. They are, let's see. She'll pull out. You don't know where she got these, but she works at a morgue or something, so it's not that hard. But it's literally a little jar of bone dust, graveyard dirt, let's see, what kind of flowers would it be? Maybe some dried begonias, and just herbs and more ingredients that are associated with death and ghost, and also crystals that aren't, but they're more about transformation and moving on. And she's preparing to cast the maiden divination, which is create a pathway for the dead to move on to their afterlife, even if they are trapped or bound to the physical world through magic or judgment.
All right. Now we are heading into a menace chapter here because this could go wrong. And there might be a few checks, magic checks I have you roll, or move checks that I'm slightly changing. So tell me what aspect you are entering this in.
It would be convenient to enter as the maiden, but I feel like with her state of mind, she's actually entering as the crone, which I know will give her like a caveat with maiden spells. But usually she does this like out of kindness and wanting to help people move on, but this is like trying to force something to just leave her alone. So,
Yeah,
well,
this
I could say
is-
maiden. Not.
This is definitely true, and you did get a charm from this, plus the one charm you get per session. You do have a few charms to spend, which allows you to get out of your aspect for a particular role and change it to maiden for one role. So if you have these charms to spend, that might come in helpful to try and mitigate the situation. So you see Anati, Naneshka building this ritual. What's your reaction, or would you like to add something to that?
Yeah. Since I am in the aspect of the mother, I will cast my blessing spell if I can. Subject will have the strength to confront their worst fears and challenge all in their path without repercussion or negative consequences. Obviously, that last part
I love
is
that.
patent pending, but yeah.
How are you casting that? How are you giving Naneshka that blessing?
I think I'm going to pull out some stems and a few bulbs from a lily, and then the stems are from red and white roses. Just any like flower components that I have on me that can symbolize unity and just like support. I want to try and just be working those as I cast the spell across her, and just try to infuse it with as much of my support as I can.
All right, roll me that spell, please.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna go perfectly well. Don't.
It's fine. I
You
got
do have-
charms. You got.
You have one charm per session. I believe I did say that the ones you get for bargains with me, those carry over. The ones you get for every new session obviously don't, but the ones you get
Gotcha.
for bargains, so any you have from previous you can use as well. Same for you, Alyssa.
Then instead of taking that 7, I'm gonna spend a charm.
All right. So with that charm, tell me how that truth creates how that truth basically pans out, how that plus 10 on a move.
I just
Turns
want to essentially have the verbal components be a sort of chanting that no one but Naneshka can understand, and it's just encouraging words, just like, I'm with you, we've got this, you're strong enough, and those types of things. And yeah, I just want to essentially, since we're contacting something, Anati wants to keep on her toes that something, if something appears, she is aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
In case
I'd
things
like
to
advance
think
from
that-
a voice.
I
Yeah.
like to think that the way it manifests is a little like ethereal flower crown on Naneshka.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So Anati's words, while you psych yourself up, while you talk to yourself, Nanati's words start to mix with yours, weave into your own thoughts. And she was mumbling, she was telling you this, but you look at her and her mouth is no longer moving, but you can still hear her voice. You can still, it's almost like a sing-song that is rhythmical and soothing and calming, that helps those thoughts of yours, of your own, gain focus. You lay out the ritual. You put the flowers into the pattern that you want it to. And what are you starting to cast?
She's starting
What
to
was that ritual
cast
again?
the maiden divination spell.
Ah, yes. Pathway for the Dead. You start to cast, and you feel something is definitely fighting against Every ounce, every wisp of magic that you're trying to call forth, something deep within you is trying to subdue any form of resolution and resolve and peace that you are trying to conjure up. Make me a first roll for this ritual.
Okay, and this would be 2d6 plus mercy.
2d6, yes, and it is wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, I got. It's just straight 2d6, baby. I got 0 wisdom. We all know this. It's apparent.
Are you using
Yeah.
a charm before a reroll? Because this is at woe. If you remember, you entered the menace in the wrong aspect.
Yeah, I have 2 charms. I'll use it. I'll use it to change my aspect to the maiden for this one specifically.
Ah, wonderful. Then it's the straight roll. What was the outcome again?
It is math number 10 plus 0,
10.
so 10.
Full success. I'll mark that down. You look into yourself because knowing now for the first time that it is really a power that resides within, that is not a spirit outside messing with you, that is not something living in your periphery, but within. For the first time, you look directly at that being. And it is a being. You close your eyes and you see red. Bright red as the fires of hell. Flickering, waiting, a grimace within the flames. You see a spark that has been growing for so long. Peekaboo, it says and chuckles. And what now? Have you come to cast me out?
Yes. Whatever it is that you are, part of me or other, we're done here. You're no longer leading this. I am.
Roll me a curse. The subject is misguided towards the wrong path, forcing them to confront terrible and harmful challenges, ultimately leading to their demise. Plus severity. So that is in your aspect. That is a straight roll.
What do I have for severity? Okay. It's 9.
A 9. You are literally fighting yourself here. As the demon within cackles in a voice that is becoming your own more and more. There are now 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 7 of them, surrounding you, these little creatures of ember of fire. Anati, you see as Naneshka is sitting within that circle, her hands are starting to... You see the white of her knuckles as she's clenching her fists, and you feel warm as the temperature rises within the room. You You start mumbling again those words of a blessing. And Naneshka, as you hear, you cannot fight yourself. You will lose. You will lose always. Everything. You will lose everything. No happiness for the murderer. You hear Anati's blessing push through. Slow, quiet in the background.
What I lost because I did not put up a fight, but today I am whatever you are. This is your last warning. Either we do this the easy way or the hard way. I am no stranger to fighting myself. But you are a stranger to resistance.
Some of those flames grow smaller, almost like a candle in the wind being almost blown out. There is pushback, and it feels the pushback. It feels that you're not as easy a prey as it thought you were going to be. Your next magic roll, and you can use other spells to flavor this, or you can just try and visualize the divination spell by creating this pathway. But that next spell, thanks to Anati's blessing, is going to be cast at wheel.
Okay. I will cast Blessing from Crone on myself. Protect the subject from powers that harm the spirit or soul. Keep them from condemnation, possession, or banishment. I'm mostly going for the first part of that spell. Whatever this is that's
Good call.
within me.
Thank you so much, Summoners Network, for the raid that is just coming in. We are at a super intense point where Naneshka is trying to exorcise a demon of sorts that has possessed her, possibly spirit of those she has wronged. So we're in the middle of a bit of a magic fight that is fully held within one person. Make that roll, Naneshka.
Okay. Plus severity. I do have one severity. That is a 9 plus 1 is a 10. Thank God, because one of those is a 1.
Yes! That is a full success. That is a full success. You're two full successes versus one half success. So as you are blessing yourself for the first time, you are believing it too. You're not just doing this to atone. You're not just doing this out of fear. You're not running away anymore. You feel that you are worthy of your own protection. The demon within feels it too. No, Naneshka, no. This is not the way. This is not the way. Follow me. And it is going to try and drag you back from that blessing light, drag you back into rage and anger. Roll me a crone divination spell. You bind spirits to the physical realm, forcing them to relive the same experience repeatedly, as it's trying to access the worst of your memories. And within you, you relive that moment where your house, the house of your family, went up into flames and you knew you couldn't save them and all you could do was run away. You feel that sense of absolute despair and powerlessness again and again and again, boring deeper into you. Roll for the demon within.
Okay, got it. I'm picking my dice very carefully. Oh god. For those at home that can't see because my camera sucks, I have a tray of like 20 different d6s. I'm not joking. Okay. 6.
6. That is good in your case. Well, the hard move that comes from a failure will affect you both.
Mm-hmm.
And I have just the idea for it. You do not follow where the demon is trying to take you. You know you have it. I'm going to give Anati one last chance if you want to do something, if you want to help. As you feel not just the temperature rising in the room, Naneshka's eyes still closed, but you can literally see her engulfed in flames that are not harming her. Just the flowers are wilting.
This isn't gonna go well. I would like to take 2 of the crystals off of my bangle, like 2 of the charms, and one is a snowflake obsidian, and the other is snow quartz. And I want to press both of the crystals into either of Naneshka's hands and just sort of try and channel the both the cooling because heat and also the like reflective calming energies of the obsidian and the quartz, and just try and channel the magic through that. I don't want to do anything that might
Do
like
you
fuck
reach
with
through
it,
the
but-
flames to get her, to give her the crystals, to push them into her hands?
Yep.
It hurts. It is fire. But you feel, Naneshka, something cool washing over you like a fresh breeze in summer. Roll me one last magic check. You can again choose one of your list or intensify this particular ritual.
I will use a mother blessing. Reveal the best path for the subject so that they find personal happiness and success, and that they will use the best of their potential. I'm so nervous. I have to think about the dice a second. Can I use the charm to reroll?
Yes, you can.
Okay. That was a 3. Oh, okay. Not bad. 9.
Thank God.
9 is a partial success again. There is a pathway. And you expect, it's like all the times you have helped a spirit move on into the next world. It is difficult to really decide or to really explain what that pathway looks like, for it is different for each individual spirit. But this is not a pathway. This is not a spirit. You always called it your demons haunting you. for the first time, you fully realize this is a demon haunting you. A demon that you now see plainly for the first time. A demon not speaking in the voices of people that died in the fire. A demon not wearing the face of your mentor or your mother or your brother. You see it for what it is. A demon materialized out of guilt and shame and anger, latched onto you like a leech. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. And you cast it out. Anati? Roll me an enforce will.
Oh boy. Plus my severity. That is a 7.
Cool. You cast the demon out, and you feel so much lighter than you have ever felt before. As far as you can remember, the fires die down. Anati, your hands now full of blisters, holding Naneshka's. Finally, the fire is gone, and you two feel the soothing cold of the crystals as Naneshka opens her eyes, looking directly at you. Naneshka, you are free.
Well, how'd it go?
It's gone. Oh, Titi, no, I'm so sorry. She'll look at her hands.
No.
Come
It's
on.
fine.
No,
It's
come on.
alright.
Need some cold water on you. Come on.
She'll
You took care of me. Let me
reluctantly
take
run
care
her
of you.
hands under the cold water. Well, you think you'll sleep better?
Yeah. I'm had a fucking demon in me, okay? Not like actual, I'm not exaggerating.
That's what that felt like. This presence.
You okay?
Yeah. Just sweaty.
Yeah. Can I roll an awareness check on Anati?
Yeah.
Oh, now you roll me. Okay. Now you roll real good. Plus wisdom is 0, but I rolled an 11. So
How is Anati feeling?
Anati is shaken, and a little. It's just she's on the dregs of adrenaline, essentially. So she's like having that like shaky come down.
You can feel her
Yes.
hands shaking in yours, and you're not 100% sure if it's the burns or something else.
Hey, I got a balm for burns. Come on. I'll make you some food also.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Titi.
Oh. Of course. I wasn't just gonna let you do it by yourself.
I know. I think Naneshka, if Titi lets her, will place a very sweet kiss on her forehead and just hug her really tightly.
Ow.
If you ever need
It's
my
strange
help as
how-
well,
Keep going.
I'll be here just like you were for me. Whatever demons you have, whether real or not, we can always tackle them together.
Yep.
Come on.
Nazi will follow.
It's strange how full of energy you feel, Naneshka. You still haven't slept, but that leech of your life force and of your will to live being gone. You'd almost forgotten what it's like to not be burdened with all of that. You know you're still not having your past undone by this ritual. But you know for the first time that it is the past. You make food, you drink tea, you treat the blisters with magic and herbs. And in the evening, you reconvene at the Bad Moon Rising with Sylvie and Marcus. You tell each other how your day has been going. Is there anything you leave out? Or you do not tell each other? Are you open about everything that happened to the two groups?
Anati will not mention how she didn't know that you could erase the Etch-a-Sketch until Naneshka showed her that she could do that.
You just shake it.
Marcus definitely did not admit that they traumatized a teenager. Left that in for sure.
Naneshka
Really?
will not admit that she had a mental breakdown at the cellar. But she will say that Titi and her fought a demon. Yeah. She goes to like fist bump you, but it's like, oh god, your hands. No, okay.
Anati just has no self-preservation skills whatsoever. She's immediately forgotten.
And Sylvie?
Sylvie, kind of like as everyone is going after their stories, Sylvie will first say that yes, that they were successful in the handoff, but there's a bigger problem. And
What
she's
is
going to
it?
tell them, when my grandmother dies, apparently so does the truce.
Fuck.
Oh.
Marcus definitely looks a little more worried at that.
Madeline, after telling me this, said some things that I can only assume were meant to shake my trust in you, and my trust in this town and the residents, and Pino didn't help today. However, that's another matter, I think. But I think it was a ruse. If I distrust you now, if we distrust each other, if the coven has any weakness, when this truce ends, the Illuminati are expecting that. But I trust all of you. And I'm
Well,
confident in all of you.
since we are bringing that up, I feel as though I should tell you something that I am aware of in regards to her. I know I've told you before that I wasn't going to tell you when it would run out, but knowing that it dies with her, it's a lot sooner than you think.
And that's
Yes.
when the jukebox stops playing the upbeat little pop rock song that it was playing. For moments, it's silent. And then a strange scent, a familiar scent of arnica and comfrey fills the bar. Ava's favorite ointment for her arthritic hands. And all of you feel those very hands on your shoulders. A gentle, slightly shaking touch. That's warm, but quickly fading. Fading into whatever world awaits after this one. As through the jukebox you hear her voice. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. And the phone rings, and you know exactly who's on the other end. And that's where we end tonight.
This
I can
roller
finally
coaster of
exhale
emotions
for the first
tonight.
time in 3 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez Louise.
My heart is
Remember
beating a mile a
episode
minute.
2 when we were fucking just dicking around? Goodness gravy. Shit.
Oh, now's a good time to tell him. Oop, nope, never mind.
Oh no. Ah. Damn. But hey, Naneshka's a paladin instead of a warlock now, so
Yeah.
he's got that going on. That's cool.
Whew.
Damn.
Shit.
How you doing, chat? How you doing, chat?
Hopefully better than
Y'all
us.
making it over there.
Well, the good news is that I think Naneshka's conflict with the demon has been resolved. That conflict is not going into the full moon phase. It is genuinely off the table.
Oh, thank fuck Christ.
For Naneshka.
Oh no, did my demon go to Anati?
Well, you
Did my
had to
demon go
put that
to
in
Anati?
there. Oh no!
Right.
Oh no! What?
No.
I've made a note of the rolls, that's all I'm saying. Everything else will come up sooner or later. But you did roll well. You did roll, both of you roll well. You had more complete successes than complete failures. The failures were mostly on the demon side that I had you roll for. So it's not going to be, bad. We'll see.
Just a little bit. Just as a
Maybe.
treat.
I don't know. And of course, Sylvie and Pino will figure out how that continues.
Mhm.
I think we, through your
So
detective
disappointed.
work, we have, through your detective work, established that he's probably not in direct danger right now. I mean, he might be when Sylvie gets a hand of him, but we can talk things out. This is, after all a game about interpersonal conflict, interpersonal relations, and dealing with that. Plus a bit of horny, plus a bit of witchcraft, plus a bit of laughter, plus a bit of crying. And I think that was an episode that really encompassed all of that.
Oh, a little bit,
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
God, poor Mike.
Poor Mike, yeah.
Poor Mike.
Fucking Mike. Stood no chance. So I'm gonna
Will
do
never be
things
the
a
same.
little bit different. If I could not just get you to tell me how you're feeling, because that's a fucking loaded and open-ended question right now, but if you want to maybe give a little gold star to one of your fellow players about a scene, because I think we all had super strong scenes today from all players that you really enjoyed for some reason or another. And I'm going to start with D again, and also tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm D. You can find me on Twitter at It's the Riddler, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/It's the Riddler. And yeah, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Come to my Twitch channel and check out Kids Table and Dub Club. Dub Club is a gaming team that has never lost ever in their entire lives. Don't check the VODs. I think that the gold star has to go to Naneshka. I'm biased because our scenes are together, but that was cathartic. That was cathartic. It's the best word I can come up with for that. I'm very excited that we're running toward the climax of this show. Anati has done nothing but grow more worried. Like, the whole situation, she has just gotten more anxious. So I can't wait to see where the story comes to a screaming halt. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much.
And where else can we find you, my dear?
You can find me over on the Critical Misses channel. We are starting up our second season. We are not going to be live tonight with the first episode of Kingsguard, but we are going to be live Wednesday for the game that I run, which is Under the Pale Cold Sun, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Chronicle. You can catch me on Fridays over at Chaotic Creations Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/chaoticpod, where I play Maltion, the half-orc wizard. And yeah, nothing weird about that game whatsoever. Outside of that, you can always find me on my channel and find me thirst tweeting all my friends on Twitter.
Solid. It's good content. I can confirm that. And Alessa, Satan themselves met a demon. How was that for you? Who are you wanting to give a gold star, and where can we find you?
I gotta give a gold star to Marcus for traumatizing Mike even more with his dead grandma. Because man, that kid was having a horrible day, and he just straight up said, "Hey, I know your grandma's dead, and she might have was she murdered here? I know you might miss her. I saw her. She misses you. She's looking for you and waiting for you. That's not ominous at all." Like,
You'd ask Marcus, "What's your trauma?" But we know.
we know. He's just, he's just spreading it all around, trauma. But hi everyone, my name is Alyssa or Satan on the interwebs. You can find me at Twitter at AlyssaVamp, and when I'm not here playing this emotionally charged and amazing game with these amazing people, you can find me on other channels such as Indoor Adventures. I'm there twice a week and a third time once a month, playing once a month on Wednesday. We're playing like a homebrew monster noir powered by the apocalypse thing that we threw together. It was meant to be a one shot 2 years ago. And Thursdays I'm there playing Masks. If you like emotional characters with slightly funny things, I also play an emotional character there. I'm playing Luciana, aka Aftershock, the Reformed. She was a villain, now she's not. And Friend of the Frost Maiden. It's a bit more feels there as well. But I also play over at Val's channel where we're playing. This way. Where we're playing Dragon Age. We're definitely horny on main room. We might have taken on a bit more Templars than we thought we could handle, but it's
I
fine.
saw that. You guys were doing fine.
There's so many
Why? Yeah, our mages out of mana. That's fine. But you can also find me at Plot Hunters. We're doing our second half of our season finale of Tyranny of Dragons Saturday at 8 o'clock EST. And Sunday mornings, you can find me at the Hype Goblin, DMing for a few friends of mine. Where we're getting to the end of a story arc where they find themselves in the Dread Island, an island of undead, where they're looking for one of the corrupted vestiges to help them in their quest. But other than that, that's me.
That Blood Island, that sounds like a great vacationing spot. And Valdrian, how are you doing? Who would you like to give your gold star, and where can we find you?
I'm definitely having some emotions. That ending was a stickler, and I don't cry a lot on stream, but you made me cry, so I'm gonna give it a star to you, Lydia, for making me cry on stream. Like, if they're like, I have like a hard time being vulnerable to people in public, so like, that whole like, shit, I'm live. Well, just sad. It's okay. You can have some emotions. You're allowed to be vulnerable. Sup, guys? My name is Val. You can find me on the internet for Twitch and Twitter at Valdriath, where I produce actual play TTRPGs for me and my friends. So on Wednesday, you can catch me in the GM seat for my homebrew 5e campaign, Dragonstone, and then Wednesday night we have more 5e with Revenge of the Gith. On Thursdays, we have Churn and Burn, where my cute husband GMs that. It's The Expanse. On Friday, we have Lancer. We only have 2 episodes left of that. And on Saturday, as Alyssa was saying, we play Dragon Age, where, I'm thinking about my backup character. So.
Oh. So everything's going well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
we can handle these Templars. It's fine.
And Rinda's the teenage traumatizer. Who would you like to give the gold star, and where can we find you?
I really enjoyed Sylvie's scene with her cousin, but my gold star does have to go to Naneshka as well. Mainly having been a part of her storyline as bad boy demon Marcus, seeing her reach a conclusion to that storyline tonight was fulfilling for me as well, since I got to be mean to her for a little bit. So I really enjoyed watching that, and as Dee said, she traded her warlock levels for paladin now, so that's always good. So that was me. And my plugs, you can catch us at Party Wipe Games, where we haven't done much because of holidays and a lot of dental surgery on my part that has kept us from doing things and everything. But hopefully this week we're back on track. Tonight I have some recording with Mitch and the gang for Trudvang. We are on our 4th episode, and I can't spoil anything because the videos haven't come out yet, but my tragic love story had its tragic part, and bears were involved, and that's all I will say. Tomorrow we will hopefully play Vampire the Masquerade, but I have to go in for my 4th visit for more root canals tomorrow, so I may be drugged up and in a lot of pain, but I may also still try and do something for these people because they've been patient with me for 3 weeks, because I've gone in for 3 weeks to get this stuff done and they're taking forever. Wednesdays we don't have anything. Thursdays our game ended, but currently talking to Mitch about possibly doing Necropunk on our channel. So that could be fun. I want to help support that because it looks like a great game. Fridays, currently nothing is planned. Oh, that's not true. We joined on Pity for a Tale. There is going to be a 3-shot of Call of Cthulhu coming up that we signed up for. So it didn't start last week, but it will start this week, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. Saturdays, we play Descent into Avernus. Sundays, we play Things from the Flood, which is the spinoff for Tales from the Loop, where you play as teenagers instead of children. And it's a fun, traumatic time for everyone. I traumatize teenagers a lot.
Seems to be a brand now. That's new. I had a lot of fun with you guys as well, and I really think you've showcased such great role-playing today. I mean, you always do, to be perfectly honest, but I love the traumatizing teenager. I absolutely adored the facing off with the demon and the facing off of fears and just overcoming things. It's always such a good sensation, even when it is harsh and even when it is emotional, but to actually get through that and to see what it does to the character afterwards that has been built on guilt for so long. That was really wonderful, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I cannot wait to absolutely flounder against Sylvie when she's confronting Pine about all the bullshit he's pulled that day. Because I was not expecting the confrontation with Madeline to be quite so disarming as well, just Sylvie being her best Sylvie and just not having any of that.
Nope.
Ooh, let me be the devil on your shoulder stuff. Nope. Sylvie is entirely too fuck you for that, and that was great. And Anati, today, full in support character mode for now, because, I don't know if you forgot about Anati's little backstory. That is still to come out in full bloom.
No, right
cool.
Right there.
Just want to remind you of that. So I think it's really nice. No, nothing's happening. Nothing. It's really nice to see to see how Nanati is there for everyone, because that's often a nice deflection, right? That's often a nice pushing all of my own bullshit away by focusing on everyone else's bullshit. So we'll see how that works out for her in the long run, and I cannot wait to see Dee's full power of RP feels punching us in the face, and we're going to say thanks for that. I had fun, and I'm going to pass on the fun to Colin with a raid to Colonomicon, where a couple of ours are playing Monster of the Week, Act 3. They too had a lot of feels last week, and they too have a wonderful balance of feels and horny, so I figure that's a very, very nice thing to do. Everyone here in chat, please do check out our sponsors one last time, and everyone watching on YouTube. How did you like the balance of feels, drama, emotion, and silly slapstick and traumatized teenagers? Do let us know, please. And we always do read the comments, so that would be nice. Do join us as well in our Discords and on our socials if you yourself are interested in playing or being part of this Reef the Tale community. Because we do have a couple of games coming up that we might put casting calls out for. There are always casting calls of other channels and of partner channels, like the Call of Cthulhu one that Rin mentioned, that Stefan is doing, and it's a really nice place to start games or to play games or to just meet new like-minded nerds. So socials are in chat just now. Do check it out. Do check out our sponsors, and do check out us out next week as well. In the meantime, you can find me as Half-Arsed Hermit on my Twitter, where I announce all the projects that I'm doing, but I am mostly focusing on this right now because there's only so much emotional trauma I can inflict on people with each game. So the next time you can see me somewhere would be the next Friday after this one with the GM post-mortem at Colin's channel. We are going to interview Will Munn, the creator of Arium, which, I don't know if you've heard of it, it was just fully funded on Kickstarter, is a game about world building. It has the world building part as a game inside the game, and it's wonderful. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being with us today, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.
These are the tales we weave. Tales of magic. Tales of mystery. Tales exploring the beyond. And while we continue to grow, even more adventures await. In the depths of the unknown. Will you join us in the telling?